All right, hi everybody. So I have a pretty interesting filter here that came in on a Kenworth. So a little background on the story. A customer had a deleted truck. For some reason, I didn't get the whole story of why, but he wanted to undelete it. I know he's looking to sell the truck eventually. So he's been to like 5 different places after having went to this DPF shop and they did some work. And he, like I said, he's been to like 5 other shops since then trying to figure out why he keeps getting this high ash load fault, which is basically saying the filter's full when he has a brand new filter. So the story that was given to him was that, he wanted to keep all his OEM filters, since they had knocked all the media out. If you go buy a Cummins filter, I mean, they're like $3,000 for a new one, but he wanted OEM. So this particular shop said, we can go to Peterbilt and we can get a new media and put into your old casing, basically. So this is an old casing. Because I got underneath the truck and I'm like, he's like, everything's been replaced. And I'm like, this stuff's old. I mean, you can tell this does not look like a new filter. So I cleared the faults. I found a couple other issues on the truck, cleared everything, did a regen. The regen went through okay. And afterward, I called a customer back and said, hey, we've cleared everything. And he's like, well, that's what they've done in the past. And he's drove 10 miles down the road and the fault's come back again. So I was like, okay, we're going to pull everything apart here. So pulled it apart, found, I said, this filter hasn't been cleaned. It's not all sooted up, looks pretty clean to me. We've done a pen drop in it. I mean, there's no really hard carbon, soot, or ash in it. And then I noticed that we kind of went back to where this thing had been recorded, kind of walked backwards from that and talked to some other experts in the industry about this. Initially, I looked up this particular filter and operational is below 1.6. So we put this on the test table here and test this restriction. So we got a good seal there. See, we're at 2.5. So again, by our chart here, for this particular part number filter, the operational is under 1.6. So this is well above what the operational level is for a new filter. When we went back and looked at the invoice from the other shop, it's just they had I believe a 12 by 12 brick or a media, and like I said, this is the first time we've seen this situation here. So after talking to some people, I mean, and from the knowledge that we have, I mean, we've tried. These filters. Cummins has several filters. They're the same size. They look exactly like. This looks the same. And we've had some customers that have swapped them, and then they have these issues because these filters, even though they may look the same, and this media up here, this brick, they may look the same. I mean, we've got Detroit filters there, Cummins filter here, Volvo filter. They all look the same. But the fact of the story is that they're not the same internally. I mean, just the way that these are designed and built and the flow rates, that restriction is different in these. So, I mean, you can't take a media out of a Detroit and just because it's the same size and put it into a Cummins. So, I mean, it's a great way to cut down on having to stock 100 different filters that look alike. When you have, they have the same size media, so we shove one in there. The fact of the matter is that they're all not the same. So that's something to look out with. And like I said, we've had customers that have, like I said, there's a lot of these Cummins filters that they look exactly the same, but they're not the same. And they get a good, clean, used filter or something, and then they continue to have issues because it's not the same part number and it isn't the specifications what that filter needs to be. So in this case, we ended up buying a brand new aftermarket filter here. And I'm going to throw it up here on the table and show you the difference. Okay. So with the new filter here, that is a like for like with this particular OEM Cummins number, you see there's a significant difference, almost a full inch of water column of difference. That's a very significant number. So if it's your ACM or your ECM, whatever, depending on how your truck's set up, is looking for a certain amount of restriction, and that's when it knows that that filter's full. So if you're going from a 1.6 to a 2.5, I mean, the truck is going to think that this filter is full all the time because that is the baseline, basically. Even though it's still in a regen, it cleans back down, and that's the baseline that it thinks that, okay, this filter's full of ash now, it's no good, it needs to be replaced. Like I said, I'm not trying to call anybody out or say anything bad about anything's product, but I mean, just kind of be careful, and you need to know what these baselines are, what these filters, because like I said, they're all not the same. I mean, in my opinion, you're best off to get a like-for-like part number of your original filter, and even in some cases, you may be better off to call your dealer, Kenworth, Freightliner. Detroit ones are, there's basically two different ones for the one boxes for the most part that are out there on the road now. But Cummins is kind of a different animal. There's a lot of different filters out there, and a lot of them look alike. So in some cases, you're better off to call your dealer, give them your VIN number, and have them actually give you the Cummins part number, what that truck was spec'd out with, and make sure you're getting a proper filter, because it can cause you a lot of heartache if you get the wrong filter put in and you're out here going from shop to shop to shop to shop, and you never figure it out because, oh, I got a brand new filter, or but it's the wrong one. So, and a lot of times the way they position these filters up in the truck, I mean, if you put the numbers up on top, you can't even verify the number. And one other point that kind of goes hand in hand with this is we notice a lot of DPF cleaning shops and services in our area with a lot of fleet customers that we brought in and we're talking to now. They're not providing documentation, no pre-numbers, post-numbers of these cleanings. So with every filter we bring in here, we test them before. If they're super, super high, I mean, we'll tell a customer, like, hey, there might not be worth wasting your money and our time cleaning this filter. Let's find a different option for you. So make sure that when you're going to a DPF shop, if you're going to get a cleaning, make sure you're getting that report, because there are baselines for these. And if you're way out, even after cleaning, we have some that they don't clean up. And you're just, again, you're wasting all that time and labor putting that gaskets, clamps, putting those filters back into a piece of equipment, and then you're just going to have the same problems immediately or a few months down the road. Like I said, make sure you're getting that information and going to a reputable shop that's giving you that information and knows that information. So that's just, like I said, something that came up here in the last week or so, and just want to throw that out there and give you guys the info. So that's pretty much it for today. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for the updates, and like the video. So.